The screen went quiet, and then, there he was, Ty Borden, standing in the distance, just like he never left. For a moment, Amy froze. Viewers froze. Was it real? Could it be? The man we all believed was gone forever now standing under the same Alberta sky. Heartland fans couldn't believe their eyes. Was this a dream? A memory? Or has the impossible happened? In the very first teaser clip for season 19, Heartland gave fans something they never expected. A short, emotional scene showed Amy walking across the familiar Heartland ranch fields. Her steps were slow, her eyes full of thought. Then suddenly, a figure appeared. It was blurry at first, almost like a ghost. But as the camera focused, fans could see the face clearly. It was Ty. He stood just a few feet away, looking calm and gentle, the way we all remember him. Amy's eyes widened. Her breath caught. The screen cut to black. Immediately after this clip was released, social media exploded. Fans on Reddit, Facebook, and YouTube were asking the same question. Is Ty Borden back from the dead? Some believed it was a vision or a dream, something Amy imagined as part of her grief. Others held on to hope that maybe, just maybe, the writers had planned this twist all along. Heartland has always been about family, healing, and miracles. Could this be one of them? What made this tease even more powerful was the silence. No words were spoken in the scene. Only the wind and the soft sound of Amy's footsteps. That silence told more than dialogue ever could. It created a moment that was full of emotion, full of suspense. It left every viewer holding their breath. And in that one quiet moment, Heartland reminded fans why they fell in love with this show in the first place. Even the production team stayed silent after releasing the teaser. There were no official comments, no interviews, no explanations. Just that one clip left to stir emotions and raise questions. This was a brilliant move by the showrunners. It allowed the mystery to grow and the theories to spread. Is Ty alive? Is this a flashback? Or is Amy finally getting the closure she needs after all these years? No matter what the truth is, one thing is clear. Heartland season 19 is starting with a storm of emotions. Ty's image, even if it lasts just a few seconds, has already made fans cry, hope, and believe again. Whether it's a return or a goodbye, it's a moment that will stay with fans forever. The only question now is what happens next. When Ty died, Amy didn't just lose her husband, she lost her best friend, her partner in life, and the father of her child. It felt like the world stopped. Everything at Heartland reminded her of him. The barn where they first kissed, the cabin they built together. Even the horses seemed quieter without him around. But Amy didn't fall apart. She didn't run away. She stayed, because that's what Ty would have done. She found strength in the middle of her heartbreak, not by forgetting him, but by honoring everything he left behind. Her days became quiet, but full. She woke up early to care for the horses, just like Ty used to. She raised Lyndy with love and stories of her father. She laughed less, cried in silence, but always kept moving forward. She wore Ty's old jacket when she walked the trails. She talked to his pictures sometimes when no one was looking. And through every quiet moment, Amy was slowly building a new life, one where pain and love lived side by side. There were moments where Amy broke down. When Lyndy asked about her dad. When she saw couples holding hands. When the house felt too empty. But she never let those moments stop her. With the support of her family, Jack, Lou, Lisa, she kept going. She taught Lyndy to ride. She took on more responsibility at the ranch. And little by little, her wounds started to heal. Not all the way, but enough to smile again. Enough to believe there was still a future worth fighting for. Fans often say, Amy is the heart of Heartland. And it's true. Even without Ty, she never gave up on the land, the people, or the animals. She carried her grief quietly, but with grace. Every time she helped a scared horse trust again, she was healing a part of herself too. Season by season, she showed us what true strength looks like. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady, unbreakable. The kind of strength that comes from love and loss. And now, with this strange moment in season 19, when Ty appears again, it hits even harder. Because we know what Amy's been through. We've walked with her through the darkest days. That's why this possible return or vision or dream means so much. Not just for the story but for Amy. Because even after everything, her heart never stopped waiting. Long before Ty's face appeared in the season 19 teaser, something strange had already begun. Small things, moments easy to miss unless you were really paying attention. Amy would pause and stare out at the hills longer than usual. She touched Ty's old jacket with a faraway look. Even Lyndy once said something unusual. I saw Daddy in my dream again. At first, fans thought these were just emotional callbacks, reminders of the love Amy still carried. But now, with the shocking new clip, those little details seem like warnings, or maybe signs. In season 18, Amy received a letter. It was old, yellowed, and unsigned. She never showed it to anyone, but after reading it, she cried for the first time in a long while. The letter's contents were never revealed, but now fans wonder, was that letter from Ty or about him? The timing feels too perfect. Some believe it was a message from someone who knew the truth, that maybe Ty didn't die the way they thought. Others believe it was spiritual, a final goodbye from beyond. But whatever it was, it shook Amy deeply. Even Jack seemed different. He became more protective of Amy and Lyndy, often watching the woods with narrowed eyes. In one quiet scene, he sat on the porch with Lisa and whispered, "Sometimes I feel like he's still out there." It was a single line, never brought up again. But fans didn't forget. And now, with Ty's image reappearing, Jack's strange words feel like a hidden truth. Lou too acted oddly in the last episodes. She started sorting through old family records and asked Amy strange questions like, what if people don't always stay gone? It could have been about emotional healing. Or maybe Lou knew something. After all, she was always the one looking for answers, even when it hurt. Maybe she was protecting Amy. Or maybe she was preparing her. And then came the horses. In one episode, a wild stallion showed up at the ranch, calm, gentle, and injured. Amy said the animal reminded her of Ty. It stood beside her like it knew her pain. Strangely, the stallion had the same scar Ty once had on his arm, though it made no sense. But Heartland has always used horses to mirror the people. Could it be another symbol? Fans are now going back, watching past seasons, looking for things they missed. Rewatching scenes where Amy stares into the distance, listening closer to what Lyndy says, reading between every line, because maybe, just maybe, the truth has been there all along. The writers have a history of slow burns and emotional buildups. Maybe this wasn't just fan service. Maybe this was always the plan. And if it was, then Ty's return won't be the only surprise. It means something bigger is coming, something that might change Heartland forever. It happens fast but feels like forever. Amy walks through the mist, her boots quiet on the wet ground. She stops near the edge of the field, where the sky meets the trees. That's when it happens. A figure stands there, half hidden in the morning light. He doesn't speak. He doesn't move. But Amy's eyes widen with something between fear and hope. The wind stills. The world feels frozen. Then the camera shows his face, Ty, calm, alive, and looking straight at her. It's the moment every Heartland fan has dreamed of. But it leaves a question hanging in the air. Is this real? Or is Amy dreaming? From the way the scene is filmed, nothing is certain. The colors are softer than usual, like a memory. There's no music, only the natural sounds of wind and breath. Ty doesn't speak. Amy doesn't run to him. She just stands there, tears in her eyes, like she's afraid if she moves, he'll disappear. That silence speaks louder than any words. It's as if the show wants the viewers to feel exactly what Amy feels: shocked, confused, and desperate. To believe it, some fans think it's a vision. Amy has always had strong emotions that connect her deeply with the world around her, especially the horses and sometimes even something beyond. Maybe this is her heart trying to heal. A message from her own soul saying, you're ready to see him again, even if just in your mind. Others have wilder theories. That Ty never actually died. That his death was a cover-up for something bigger. A witness protection deal. A coma. Or that the man standing there isn't Ty at all, but someone who looks exactly like him. A twin? A lost brother? Theories are flying in all directions because Heartland gave no clear answer. But what makes this scene so powerful isn't the mystery. It's the emotion. Amy's face says everything. In that moment, we see the years of pain, the weight of being a widow, the love that never left. Her body doesn't move, but you can see the storm in her chest. And Ty, whether real or not, he's calm, peaceful, as if he came just to give her what she needed. For years, fans begged the show for closure. Some wanted Ty to return, others just wanted Amy to find peace. This scene offers both, and neither, because it doesn't explain. It just shows. And by doing so, it becomes one of the most unforgettable moments in the show's history, whether it's the start of something new or just a final goodbye. One thing is clear. That short scene has changed everything. It pulled old fans back, made new ones cry, and proved that even in silence, Heartland still knows how to break hearts beautifully. Heartland has always been more than just a show. It's a journey about healing, family, and second chances. So when Ty appeared in season 19, even if only for a moment, fans knew this wasn't random. It wasn't just a cheap surprise. It was something carefully planned, a decision that had meaning. And that's where the genius of the writers comes in. They didn't bring Ty back to undo the past. They brought him back to complete something emotional, something powerful, and something only Heartland could deliver. After Ty's heartbreaking exit in season 14, many fans were hurt, confused, and even angry. But over time, the show used that pain to tell deeper stories, especially for Amy. Still, the wound never fully healed. Not for Amy and not for the audience. The writers knew this. They let time pass. They let us all sit with the silence. And then, just when it seemed Amy had finally found her strength again, they gave us that one moment. That one image. Ty, standing in the light. A single heartbeat from the past. This wasn't about shocking fans. It was about reward. About showing that grief doesn't erase love. That even when someone is gone, they never truly leave the ones they loved. The writers didn't need Ty to speak. They didn't need a dramatic return. His presence alone was enough. And that's what made it brilliant. It honored the past while embracing the future. There are also real-world clues behind this choice. Actor Graham Wardle, who plays Ty, had always left the door open for small appearances, especially if it served the story. He respected the fans. He respected the show. And the writers respected him. So instead of forcing a return, they waited for the perfect moment. Not to rewrite history, but to deepen it. This move also gave Heartland something else: buzz. Social media lit up. Old fans who stopped watching after Ty's death came back just to see that one scene. And new fans, curious about the mystery, started watching from the beginning. The writers used emotion, nostalgia, and storytelling skill to reignite passion in a way few shows can. But most importantly, Ty's return wasn't just about Ty. It was about Amy, about her journey, her pain, her healing. By letting her see him again, whether it was real, imagined, or spiritual, they gave her, and us, a kind of peace. Not closure that ends the story, but a moment that allows it to breathe again. And that's why fans say the writers are brilliant. Because they didn't just give us what we wanted. They gave us what the story needed. She didn't plan to speak. She just wanted to be alone. The horses were quiet that day, the sky overcast like it was holding back tears. Amy walked into the old barn, the one Ty helped build with his own hands, and sat down on a bale of hay. Her fingers gently touched a wooden beam, his initials still carved into it. And then, the silence broke. She started talking, not to anyone around her, but to Ty. Her voice was soft, almost like she was afraid to be heard. "I still see you," she whispered, "everywhere." This was no performance. It wasn't a speech for anyone else to hear. It was Amy's heart, wide open. Her monologue was raw, honest, and filled with all the words she had held inside for years. She talked about raising Lyndy alone, about being strong when she felt broken, about the nights she sat in the dark, wishing for just one more hug, one more laugh, one more Ty. "I thought time would fix it," she said, her voice cracking. "But it didn't. I've just learned to carry it better." Tears slid down her cheeks, but she didn't wipe them away. She let them fall. And in that moment, something shifted, not just in her, but in the viewers too. Because Amy wasn't just talking to Ty. She was talking to anyone who's ever lost someone and kept going anyway. Her pain was personal, but it felt universal. The Monologue continued with memories, small ones. The way Ty used to wake her with coffee. The way he called her Amy like it meant something more. The way he believed in her, even when she didn't believe in herself. These were not grand, dramatic memories. They were the quiet ones. The ones that hurt the most because they felt so real. Then she said it. The line that stopped everyone cold. If love was enough, you'd still be here. It was simple, but it hit like thunder, because in those 8 words Amy captured the entire weight of grief, love, and loss. By the end of her monologue, she wasn't looking down anymore. She looked up, as if imagining him standing right there, and for a second, a smile appeared. Small, broken, but real. That was the moment fans broke down. Because it wasn't just acting, it was healing. Amber Marshall delivered this monologue with quiet power. No music, no distractions, just her voice and her eyes. It became one of the most unforgettable scenes in Heartland history. Viewers posted online saying they cried for 10 minutes straight. Some said it helped them heal from their own losses. That's how deep it went. Amy didn't need answers. She didn't need Ty to walk through the door. She just needed that one moment to say what she'd always felt. And in doing that, she gave herself and us something precious. Permission to remember, to feel, and finally, to breathe. The moment Amy saw Ty again, whether real or not, something inside her changed. It wasn't just about seeing his face. It was what that moment unlocked inside her. A part of her heart that had been frozen for years began to feel again. And now, fans are asking, what comes next? Will Ty stay? Will he return again? Or was that moment a gift? A goodbye? Or the start of something even more emotional? Season 19 has already broken the rules. Ty's appearance, even if brief, reopened a door we thought was forever closed. If the writers were bold enough to bring him back into the frame, even as a vision, then anything is possible. Maybe Amy will continue to see him. Maybe Ty becomes a guide, not in body, but in spirit. A steady presence that only she feels. Not a ghost, but a part of her. Helping her move forward, not by forgetting him, but by walking with his memory beside her. But there's another possibility, and fans are holding their breath for it. That Ty never truly died. Some believe that more hints will come. Letters, sightings, and whispers from side characters. Maybe someone lied to protect him. Maybe he had to disappear to keep Amy and Lyndy safe. It sounds far-fetched, but this is Heartland, a show built on second chances and miracles. If this theory becomes real, it would change everything. It would mean Amy might not be alone anymore. The most emotional thread, though, is Lyndy. She never truly knew her father, yet she speaks of him as if she does. What if her connection to Ty is deeper than anyone imagined? If Ty returns spiritually or physically, his bond with Lyndy could be explored in ways that would break and heal hearts all at once. Imagine her reaching out, recognizing him, feeling something no one else can. The writers could use this to bring even more depth to the story. And what about Amy's future? This moment with Ty may not be about bringing him back permanently. It may be about giving her the strength to fully live again. Maybe love finds her again, but this time, with peace in her heart. Maybe she becomes the one others now come to for healing. Her journey could turn into something even more powerful, where Ty's memory isn't a weight, but a light guiding her forward. In the end, the most powerful question isn't will Ty return? It's what has his return already changed? Because whether he stays, leaves again, or was never truly there, Amy is different now. The story is different. And so are we. Season 19 may not be about rewriting the past. It may be about finally accepting it and finding beauty in the pieces that remain. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most powerful kind of return there is. Ty Borden may have been gone for several seasons, but his impact never left Heartland. From the first time he walked onto the ranch as a troubled teenager, to the last time he held Amy's hand as a husband and father, Ty became more than just a character. He became the soul of the show. His growth, his pain, his love for Amy, and his deep bond with the animals touched something real in fans all over the world. And now, with just a single moment in season 19, he reminded everyone why Heartland was never truly the same without him. This story was never just about romance. It was about healing, about finding your place in a world that's always changing. Ty's story gave hope to people who were broken. His relationship with Amy showed what trust, patience, and deep love could really look like. Even after his death, every decision Amy made carried pieces of Ty in it. Every quiet moment on the ranch echoed his memory, and every viewer who followed his journey carried a piece of his legacy with them too. By bringing Ty back, even for a breath of a moment, the show didn't just create a twist, it gave longtime fans something deeper. It said, "We remember too." It honored the years we spent with him, the laughter, the tears, the hope. It wasn't about reversing his death, it was about acknowledging that love like Ty and Amy's doesn't just disappear. It lingers, quietly shaping everything that comes after. Now, as Heartland continues into new stories, Ty's shadow will always be there, but not in sadness, in strength. He showed us that even the most broken hearts can heal, that people can change, that second chances are worth fighting for. And through Amy, Lyndy, and everyone at the ranch, his presence lives on. In every rescued horse, in every sunrise, in every soft smile Amy shares when she looks at the land they love together. Ty Borden may have walked off the screen, but he never left our hearts. Season 19 reminded us of that in the most powerful way. And no matter what the future holds, his story will always